So if you're not too sure, there is a lot in that. You need to take that away and play around with it, and start sparring from this position, and you'll run into things that your partner's going to do, and you kind of need a problem solver. But just put time in on it. So first thing is seated guard position. A level change, get us back on the mat, create the space, and move into like a split squat position, headquarters. Again, the further I'm out, he can start playing all this guard, so I'm bringing my foot in. Because it's guard, he can still play this guard because he's flexible. So that's immediately why I want to start moving into this position. Notice the way I've got inside control already with my elbow. That's something you want to be thinking about from passing. I never want to be passing and getting into this position. So you can kind of shut down all of this by doing this, just keeping your arm on the inside. And then that gives me the underhook, and I can start playing the game. Even from there, when I get to that position, we can start to work. Remember, we talked about frying his head and then starting to work this, getting into all your head and arms from there. But two players will beat you to that battle, and they'll have elbow on the inside of the knee and here. Okay, so one. Okay, find this, back off. And as he shelf it, it's all about getting that profile. See the way Carl's digging his elbow in there, so possibly it might be a little bit difficult to put it over his head. If I find it's more there, I might have to drop down and then start to pass this way. So small things he's doing can make a big difference. Take it back to here. But if he's here and I control that inside space, comes the pummel. Okay, and then I find that, and then I back off. As I shelf that, I kind of want to be getting my shoulder in front of that. And now I can start to push forward and get into head and arm type control. Just put me back and forward. So we're here. Okay. Don't think about finishing from here. Just keep everything tight. So I wouldn't even go hand to hand from there. Just find your triceps. Make him feel a little bit claustrophobic. You're putting weight on him. Find the bottom thigh pinch. And just tripod up and turn your heel the other way. As my knees come over this way, just drop down. And I'm into mount. And we're here, okay? So, again, it's all about connection. Glenn was tucking his chin, so tuck your chin, Carl. You notice where my left shoulder is? It's just going to go into his face. It's not going to cut the jugular. So I start to recede my weight back. Notice the way my shoulder has moved back from his jawline. And even if Carl still has a tucked chin, watch, I'm coming underneath it. Even my shoulder's coming underneath it. It's right in his throat. My bicep, my left bicep is tight to his right jugular. Now I want to get his left shoulder pushed into his left jugular with my left shoulder. So I go hand to hand, elbows out, heads down, and I start to turn my hip. Let's just say I made the mistake of coming in here. A lot of people forget about this detail, and Carl bridges. And we end up here. Now you can't finish from closed guard. If you get that angle, sometimes you can't finish. Takes a little bit of muscling, and I don't want to use that. So we're thinking about this, just reversing it back to mount. How do we do that? I keep it tight. Again, I go hand to hand. I don't want Carl bringing his arm back round again. That will defeat the whole purpose. So stay tight. And now from there I'm going to open my guard, and I'm going to hook my feet in like grapevines, so my insteps are underneath the shin. I'm going to stretch them out, and now from there I'm going to put my left hook in. So if his left arm is inside the Kata Gatame, okay, it'll be my left butterfly hook coming in. And now I just bring his head towards me, and I just scissor sweep and take him back over again. Now we're back into our whole movement, only this time I'll keep my elbow out. So I didn't have my elbow out. Now Carl was, earlier he was, instead of using his elbow, he used his head. The problem with that is, if I just use my head, Carl can bridge me in the other direction and bring his arm back around. Does that make sense? The good thing about using your elbow is I can keep my weight on that side. See the way I can keep my head down and I'm still finishing? I think the elbow is a better post than your head. And it's very easy, instead of doing that and using your head, to bring your elbow out. But let's just say I have my elbow in, Carl bridges me, and immediately I open my closed guard and I just put in my feet. I want my insteps hooked in at the lower shins. And I'm just going to stretch them out. And from there, depending on your flexibility, you might have to shrimp out a little bit and put in your left butterfly hook. And now, especially if the guy's heavier, I'm going to bring his head towards me. Right foot comes out, and I'm just going to pendulum my leg. Only now, this time, my elbow's out. And then I turn my hip. So again, my elbow wasn't out. Kind of reversed it. We ended up here. I stay tight. Hook my feet in. Stretch them out. Shrimp slightly. Again, I don't want to put this hook in because now he's a free hand, the post. So it will be my left hook if his left arm is inside. And again, on a big guy, this will be hard to reverse him just with a butterfly hook. So we want leverage. So I'm going to pull with a hook and bring Carl's head as far above mine. Watch what happens to his hips. When you're sweeping someone, I want Carl's hips as high as possible. They're on me, which means I'm carrying his weight. I'm going to pull him forward. Elbow out. Okay, let's try that, guys.